Well, great day to you all. I hope that you've all woken up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And today's the first time that I'm going live on two platforms. So you know what? Let's get as much love out there as humanly possible. All right? Guys, I hope that you woke up grateful. All right? I hope that you set that high vibe for yourself. And I really hope that you've chosen to love yourself unconditionally today, no matter what. All right? So look, today I'm going to remind everybody of the universal laws that we're actually governed by and how they actually apply to your life. All right? The first law, universal law, is oneness, wholeness. We are all one. Everything created in this universe is one. Wholeness. Okay? And because I'm going live on multiple platforms, I'm not going to look at comments, I'm not going to whatever, but today it's a reminder and how they apply to our life. Because we have to remember these things for governance of our beings. Okay? So the first primary law, divine oneness. We're all connected energetically. We are all energy. First, foremost, primarily. All right? Secondary law, there's a law of vibration. No matter what it is, no matter who you are, we are all vibrating. We all have a unique frequency. And that is why we all matter. Each and every single one of us. Okay? We all matter. We're all one. Okay? Everything in the law of vibration is constantly in motion. And everything is vibrating at its own frequency. So guys, just a reminder, I'm on two platforms. So, all right? But I want to share as much loving reminders as humanly possible today. Because if you guys are all feeling it like I'm feeling it, well, guess what? We all need it. So you know what? I will be that one. Guys, you need to realize that your ideas, your thoughts, your speech is vibrating. It is frequenting. You are putting it out there into this wholeness, this oneness of the universe. So you have to remember that everything that you think, say, and do affects the collective. Always. Always. Law of correspondence. Really, really important law. Hey, as above, so below. Well, that's not just as above, so below. It means as above, so below. Okay, so you got to be still within your being to be in harmony within your body. It's not just about, so above, so below. No, it's about so above, so below. So within, so without. Okay? You got to remember that everything that you're seeing is your own reality of what's happening within. Okay? And that's huge. So if you're having a hard time, it's because you're having a hard time within. So you got to put your focus within. Okay? It really matters. It really, really matters. Okay? And it matters for you, primarily. Okay? And right now, we're all feeling it. We are. This ascension has been real for a reason, energetically, okay? This has been going on for years in the works. So, let's get some love and reminders out there to as many people as possible. Share the lives. Share it. Get as many people out here as possible. Okay? Because we all need these reminders, especially now. Because, change is happening fast. Just as quick as the energies are forcing it to happen. We all have to remember that energy and space is not affected by time. We are. Okay? So, now we're operating on the universe's energy frequency and what it wants to happen. So we got to remember this. And of course, we're feeling it. Okay? So this is the point of having these loving reminders of the universal laws that are actually governing us and how they apply to our life. So that you guys can be reminded that it's okay. And you're okay. And we're all okay. So I was on law number 3, correspondence. I was talking about as above, so below. Well, as above in your mind is so below in your body. Okay, so be still within the up here. Because honestly, that affects your whole being. Okay? And the things that you're thinking and telling yourself affect your being. So yes, it's affecting your reality. I encourage you all to tap into the love of your being, okay? And tell yourself good things all the time. Correct your thinking if you have to. Put your focus on the things that you are doing within your own being, okay? Loving reminders. I'm not out here to give you guys shit. I'm out here to empower you, okay? We're all feeling it. Hear the sirens? All validation. We're going to hear a lot of that. But you got to stay true to the truest essence of your being. So, what is that? I'm going to remind you all today of what is governing that truest essence of our being. Okay? So, I've done divine oneness. We're all one. I've done vibration. Everything has a unique frequency and it vibrates uniquely. Okay? At its own frequency. Law of correspondence. So as above, so below. Okay? Seriously. So within, so is without. So what's going on inside of you, your reality is going to mirror that to you. So if you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to be feeling good about what's going on in your life. It's as simple as that. Let's break it down and keep it simple. All right? And it's facts. The pattern, within this law of correspondence, patterns repeat themselves until they're corrected. So, what are these patterns? Your initial belief systems. So if you're believing things that are not empowering for your being, I would encourage you all today to go in there and rewrite those belief systems. How do you do that? Well, you simply take a piece of paper and a pen and put down 4 quadrants of your life. Whether it's your family, friends, whether it's your career, whether it's your love and relationship, whatever. But check your belief systems. And don't think about it. Allow yourself, your soul, to spill itself. And then take a look at those beliefs. Rewrite them within yourself. So those patterns of belief systems don't shackle you into a way of automatic ideas, thinking. Sorry about the invite. I'm not pulling anybody on. I'm not getting distracted or dissuaded, okay? This has to come out the way it is. So I really don't apologize for declining the invite to hop on the live. But there's a lot of things that'll come to interrupt what's being done right now. And I won't allow it because we all need these reminders. So with love, I decline. Let's get on with it. So, your belief systems, guys, you got to watch those belief systems that are automatically producing your ideas, your thoughts, your speech, your actions, your state of being for yourself. Hey, it all matters. It all matters. And it all stems with what's going on inside up here. Now, every thought, every speech, everything that you're putting your life force into is going to cause an effect within your being. So if you're telling yourself things that are disempowering, you are actually robbing yourself of your life force. Because the thing about all of this is, to maintain a certain frequency, what you have to literally do is make sure that you are producing joyful moments for you and always letting your cup overflow. Okay? Because if you don't, you're running off of your life force. And you can't do that. Because when you start running off your life force and not allowing your own energy to peacefully and harmoniously and balanced run your operating systems, well, that's when your system starts to break down. Okay, that's facts. How do I know? I've been in intensive care, total septic shock, 16 hours to live, and I died that day. Well, I'm back full force. What did that to me? Negativity. And that's the only thing that did it to me, because medical records couldn't even pinpoint what did it to me. Well, that day that I met the maker, well, guess what? It was clearly shown to me what did it to me. Guys, loving reminders of the laws that truly govern us and how they apply to our beings. Loving reminders. Guys, remember, as above, so below. And I can't remind you guys more of that today than I possibly could. Because of everything that you're thinking and allowing to go through you is causing an effect in you. And it is also vibrating out, no matter what. These are the laws of the energy that govern our being. Okay? So you guys we've all been caught up with all kinds of distractions and all kinds of things coming at us and all kinds of feeling the thick of the shit, but we're pushing through it. All right? So I just want to remind you guys all with loads of love. And I remind you guys all today that love is a frequency. It is a force. It is not an emotion, what it has been made to believe. So let's get on with it. Laws of attraction. Everybody thinks that the law of attraction is simply sitting back and merely wishing what you want. Well, guess what? No, it is every thought. Actually, let me stem it down to this. Every idea, every thought, every word, every action that you pump out and frequent out into the universe, into the one wholeness of the energy, is coming back. So, if you think that you're portraying yourself to be a great person, but you're sitting behind the scenes having all kinds of thoughts that need to be corrected about your own self primarily, and then about what's going on in the world secondarily, well, you're going to cause those effects in your life by attracting exactly that back to you. You don't even have to talk about it. So, loving reminders. Guys, you got to watch, especially now, with everything that's happened with the energetic shift since November 1st. Let's be real with it. Everything's magnified. Limitations are lifted. Whatever we want to manifest can happen by thought alone. Because as I go into the laws, I'll remind you of all of that. Okay? Seriously. The magnitude of what everybody's feeling right now is huge. So these are why I'm reminding you guys all about the laws of life. Because, hey, these are the true, genuine laws energetically that we're governed on. So, guys, law of attraction, whatever you think, say, do is frequenting out. You can't stop that energetically because you are putting energy into it. So, watch what you're thinking, saying, and doing. Watch what you're chasing. Watch what you're following. Watch what, hey. And you know what? Only you guys know. But it does affect the collective. And somebody like me, well, guess what? If you're sitting next to me, I could tell you more about yourself than you could probably know. So let's not go there. Okay? Guys, just remember, law of attraction is genuinely everything you're doing and pumping out to the universe energetically is going to come back at you. in any shape, way, form, by any person, place, thing, whatever. So watch what you're doing, primarily for you. All right? Guys, law number 5, inspired action. You cannot sit back and just think things will happen without your efforts and energy put into it. So, my efforts and energy are going into the shift and the change and the ascension. I breathe that every waking moment of my day and nothing but. There's nothing more important to me. So, I've written 9 books for inspired action for the change. I have gotten past myself. I have been spiritually awakened. I have been aligned, and I am forcefully out here spreading as much love and knowledge to the whole world as humanly possible. For it. Free. 0 payment, as I allow myself to sit back and just do this for now. Free. Why? Because energetically, this is what needs to be done for everybody. And I'm a part of that wholeness, that oneness. There is no Toby. She's dead. She's dead. That old person doesn't exist. But I am a vessel for love on this planet right now. And I will remind you guys all of the power of your own beings and what is governing that. Full force. Guys, number 6, the perpetual transmutation of energy. The only constant is that everything is changing all the time. Simple. So if you don't think that you're changing, well, you're sadly mistaken. Why? Because living yesterday's life experience, and as you wake up today, you are a brand new person because of the experience of yesterday. Everything is always changing. Nothing remains the same. Now, within this perpetual transmutation of energy law, your thoughts have the power to manifest themselves in your reality. So therefore, everything you're thinking, you are producing. So go back to the correspondence law. The pattern's reproducing. You gotta watch and correct your thinking. How do you do that? Stop watching what everybody else is doing. When a thought arises, look at it. Don't be distracted by everything in your life except by your own governance of how you're operating. Because you're in total conflict with your own being should you do that. Loving reminders. Guys, cause and effect. Things don't just happen. And way too many people sit back and say, oh, you know what? Oh, it just happened. Bullshit. Okay? Things don't just happen. That is a lack of self-accountability when somebody sits back and says that. Because whatever we're living is a result of every single choice we've ever made in our life. So whatever affects your living today from life, you have caused that for your own being. So be accountable for that. Rewrite the belief systems. Allow better thoughts. Allow better patterns. Watch what energetically you are putting your life force into. Simple things. Bring it down to basics. All the time. All the time. Why wouldn't you want to? There's a cause and effect. You don't feel well? Well, instead of focusing on that fact that you don't feel well and magnifying that for yourself, because where you put your focus is where you're putting your energy, right? So Instead of going, oh, okay, well, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. What is causing me to feel like this? Because if you're holding a certain vibration, sickness does not exist. Well, where does that all stem from? Not being in balance and in harmony with your own being primarily. Simple. So break it down. Self-accountability. If you're getting sick, it is because of the frequency that you are allowing within your energetic flow of your being. Because if you are at a certain vibe, you cannot get sick if your body is in balance and you are as above, so below, and in perfect harmony with your mind, your body, and what's fueling you, your soul. You are incapable of getting sick. Incapable. So you have to remember, okay, well, if you're not feeling right, there's a cause to that effect. Simple as that. Break it down to basics. Then let's go on to number 8, law of compensation. So, the benefits that you acquire in this life is according to the efforts that you put into it. Simple as that. Perfect example of that is if you put the efforts into your children, well, you will see the efforts of that and the benefits of doing just that. But if you're allowing everybody else to raise your children, well, you're going to see the effects of that cause too. Trust that. Okay? Whatever you put your efforts into in this world, well, you will be you'll be benefited for that. So this is huge when you don't know where your efforts are going. So this also correlates to your thoughts, the balancing of your body, if you're living in harmony, if you are at ease with your being. Because if you're putting efforts into the wrong thinking, the wrong doing, well, you're going to get the benefits of just that too. And you will feel the cause and effect of that too. You see, all of these laws, they correlate together. So you really got to be aware of that stuff for within your own being. And yeah, we have all kinds of things that happen and that sometimes we don't see why things are happening, but when you look at where your efforts have been put, you can see why you are reaping what you're sowing. Because that's pretty much what it is, the compensation. We reap what we sow. So perfect example of that, if you're gardening, well, you're going to want to go and you're going to want to prepare your land and do whatever you got to do for the gardening to make sure that your harvest is worth it. So it's exactly with the law of compensation. Guys, loving reminders. Law of relativity. This is huge. And this is why I come out here and I tell everybody about the duality stuff. And, the only duality that you really have to govern is mastering to merge the two and finding your neutrality point within yourself. Why? It has to do with the law of relativity. Because everything and anything isolated in just that. So in other words, there's no comparison. So you just look at that for what it is. Well, guess what? It's neutral. Until it's compared to something else. And that's where the good and bad comes into it. So there really is no good or bad until the individual decides to be comparing it to something. So, instead of comparing your own being to others and striving to be like others and following trends like others. Nah. Be authentically, uniquely you, and neutral to all, because that's your true power point within your being. Seriously. And that's why I preach it. Neutral is key. You shouldn't be comparing anything. Yourself, your life, what you think, say, and do to anybody else. It is uniquely you. So the law of relativity simply applies when you are in comparison. So you're uniquely you with a unique energy signature on the planet that is in no comparison to another being. So you must stay in the neutrality of that, knowing that you are uniquely you, and there is no comparison to you. This is why each and every one of us matters the most. And you matter the most within your experience, because it's uniquely yours relative to uniquely your mission and your soul contract. Okay? And that's facts. It's facts. So guys, all of these universal laws really intertwine into our daily life. And you know, I got a lot of flack about me doing the video saying that I don't operate on man law. I operate on universal law. Well, because fundamentally that is what's governing me and everybody in this experience. So how could I deny that or not submit to that governance and allow that to be the governing law that rules my life? Simple. So no person, experience, emotion, or action is good or bad until it's compared. So you as a being, as an individual, you have to check and see whether you are comparing yourself to anybody else, because you can't be. You can't be compared. You are uniquely you, and what you bring to the table is valid and worthy. It's worth it. For everybody, not just you. But you got to get right with yourself so that you can be exactly, authentically what energy you need to be within the collective. Seriously. It's a simple choice. Everything's a choice. Guys, the law of polarity. Everything has an equal opposite reaction. We know that. How? Well, look at the poles shifting now. All right? It's as simple as that. The universe is dual. There's balance. But everything is unique in nature. There's no relativity to anything else. It's all unique and a part of the whole. How amazing is that, though? That's amazing. Because our energy does not die. It just transmutes and changes. So once you cash in the rental car back here that we're using to drive around in our experience with, well, hey, back to energy, because that is first primarily what we are. We're not humans having spiritual experiences. I remind you guys all today, we are energy first. First. Well, I'm back to soul, operated and led in my human experience now. Oh. It's easier, it's easy to do. It's a simple choice. All right, guys, rhythm, the law of rhythm. Everything's cyclical. Everything changes. So what does this law refer to? It's the process of you being able to move in and out of things out of your life and not getting stuck in anything. That's what it comes down to, simply put. So That's why I encourage everybody not to get stuck in any thinking, any feelings, any doings, no, don't do that to yourself. Just don't do it. It's a waste of your energy. And then the patterns repeat themselves. And then it just keeps going. So make sure the initial idea, thought, action is something that is empowering to you. Because it's going to automatically run. So that's going to either fuel you or it's going to deplete you. And if it depletes you, you're going to have to run off your life force. And then you're creating uninhabitable conditions within your own body. What happens then? Your soul says, you know what? Fuck this, I'm out. That's what happens. Guys, law of gender. Well, there's all masculine and feminine energy within us all because that is the true start of creation. Okay? Simple as that. Passion, purpose, evolution, growth. We all have masculine and feminine within us. And you know what? I've had to walk around with masculine energy being my forefront all my life because of what I've lived. I have not been in a situation where I can divinely allow the divine feminine to take over whether I'm in a feminine body or not because of my life experience. I've had to run the gauntlet all my life. Every day of it. Until I got right with myself and my own being. But divinely within me and within everybody for their experience, there is a duality of masculine and feminine energy. So, it's really important to know both sides of your energy because I divinely know both sides of my energy, whether I've been able to allow the feminine to surface or not. No, right now, and in this great time of change, well, guess what? The masculine feminine within me must protect that feminine divine until the divine masculine in human form arrives. Simple as that. And until that happens, no. I have to be fully in full force who I am and what I'm supposed to do here. And this is what I'm supposed to do. Is come out and just speak. When you speak and you allow the flow to go, guess what? You're heard in all realms. Knowledge is power. Guys, I don't want you to be operating out of your own power and allowing your own energy to be leaking through to things automatically that you are not correcting, because the magnification of that right now, sirens again. The magnification of that is real. Now you are either constructing yourself every day as the new person you are, because you are a new person today. So, today you've got some choices to construct yourself to be who it is that you want to be. The past does not matter. It's gone. It no longer exists. The only place it exists is within your own memory bank that you have decided to imprint into your own memories. What happens there? It's in up here. So all the stuff that you may have stored there that doesn't feel good, go remove it. Because that runs automatically. And so above, so is above, so below. So if you're not conscious about what is running in your automatic operating systems, you are not able to identify it and correct it. And that cause will make major effects within your body. So this is why I encourage you all. Go in there. Look at all the stuff that you don't want to see. Look at all the stuff that has caused you trauma, pain, fear, guilt, shame, denial. Go and take a look what you have stored in there that's unloving. Correct all that stuff. Correct it, because you can do it, and you have the power to do that within the energy of your being. And this is where you have to put the efforts to feel the benefits. If you're not doing it for yourself, you will not feel the benefits of it. Self-accountability is huge. Huge. You have to be accountable for your own being, no matter what it is. It's huge. Well, I'm accountable to myself for the things that I believe, number one, because these belief systems are going to produce the ideas, the thoughts, the speech, the way of life, the state of being, the whole mood through it all. No, I got to be conscious and self-accountable about me, my experience, what I'm meant to do here, and pump out as much knowledge and understanding to as many people who are open to hearing it. And I know it's going to fall on many deaf ears until they're ready to hear it for themselves. I get that. But that's not going to stop me from putting it out there with my life force behind it, with the intention of making people aware and allowing them to be as powerful as a being that they could possibly be within this experience. What a great time to be alive. Humanity's shifting. So, all of us light workers and empaths and warriors of light, as I like to call us, the fellow earth angels, the 144K gods of Tiamat. Hey, come on. The shift is happening. The job is done. Now, what do we have to do? We just have to get through the thick end of the shit. Because, yeah, all of the negativity that's being pumped out by everything that's being destroyed right now, we're also feeling the effects of that. In the wholeness, the oneness, the collective law. So there's a lot of things that you may be feeling that aren't even coming from you, that you're really sincerely picking up on the energetic influence of what we are living in this experience. This is why it's so important to be okay within your own being, no matter the cost of it. How do you do that? You stay within your heart space. Okay, you stay out of the three brains that are here to govern an experience. Just be. But be okay. How do you be okay? You balance yourself. And it doesn't matter what's going on around you. Balance your being. Make better choices for yourself, primarily. Hey, you matter. So why wouldn't you do this for yourself? Yeah, life pulls us in all different directions. But so what? You can be okay during it all, no matter what, according to the fundamental laws that govern us. But it all stems with you. Because uniquely, what you are doing or saying to another, you are doing to yourself. We're all connected. Lessons come attached to many faces. Many, many. But this is why they say, extend hospitality to everybody, because you don't know who's disguised as an earth angel. Guys, I come out here and I'm spreading love and light. That's what I'm doing. Because you know what? I have mastered myself. And I've done the work to do that. And that's why I can uniquely, authentically be me. And without doing the work, well, I couldn't reap the benefits of doing it. I've got it done. I understand that everything coming at me is either a lesson for me or a lesson for them. And that's the only operation that I go on. I operate out of strictly the infinite, unconditional love that governs my life. And the discernment of my heart. Where does conflict and chaos come from? Hey, it comes from lack of discernment. What's lack of discernment? Well, there's an initial duality within your heart space. And that's the only duality that's supposed to govern your being. So what is that? Well, your heart is going to tell you whether something feels good or bad. So I don't even like to say good or bad. Something's going to let you know whether it feels right or wrong. That has nothing to do with thinking. Thinking is a process that comes energetically way after your heart picks up on this electrical processing of the energies that you're feeling. There's no thinking involved in that. None. None. None, none, none. Thinking comes in once this energy doesn't remain in your heart space for the governance of your being. So I'll remind you guys all today also. Our energetic field is picking up energy all the time. There's a constant flow, right? Well, whatever you pick up initially, the governance of your heart space is going to tell you whether it's right or wrong, whether it's a person, place, situation, scenario, no matter what it is. So, if you can remain in that space to allow that to be your true compass and the governance of your being, well, then there's no thinking required. Where the thinking comes into play is once this energy doesn't get processed there, and because it doesn't get processed there, it's going to go through your limbic system and shoot up through your three brains. What are the three brains? Well, you got your reptilian brain for instincts. Instincts. That has a governance for instinctual nature to kick in should survival be needed. Okay? We shouldn't be operating out of survival mode if we have a brain specifically to keep us alive instinctually during survival. Facts. Well, once there is no threat, real instinctual threat to the security of your life, then it's going to shoot through to the emotional center. Why does it do this? Because you haven't allowed the discernment of your being to govern your choices. So because it had to go through a processing center of instinctual brain, well, now your body needs to restabilize yourself because you haven't allowed the true governance of your being from your heart and what you're picking up initially. So because you haven't done that for yourself, well, what happens is now your body's got to regulate from it all. So if you really respect your emotional center for what it truly is, which is, yes, emotions, energy in motion, but that is all it is. So if you allow it to be what it's supposed to be, it's 60 to 90 seconds and your body recalibrates back into balance if that is truly the state that you possess to begin with. That's all it's supposed to be. It's a restabilization, rebalancing of your hormones, your body, your everything, the reaction to what you picked up from the central nervous system of your experiences. The senses, the sight, the touch, the taste, the whatever you experienced during what you were picking up. Well, your body needs to recalibrate from that if you do not allow your heart space to govern everything. So once all that happens and your body's recalibrated itself, well, then guess what? That's when your logical creative power and thinking comes in from. But guess what? If you have a sacral chakra that is sexuality and creativity, well, then why are you trying to create from your brain? Total reversal of how we are supposed to operate. This is why I encourage everybody to stay in the energy of your being no matter what. What is that energy? Did you know within that energy of your being there is zero negativity? It is all infinite, unconditional love. Within that, the power of the all-knowing, absolutely all, and everything ever created. So people are so stuck on finding an identifying factor for themselves, but you're going in opposition to the oneness of the first law. There is no identity of the self once you are one with all. Facts. Well, I'm one with all. Simple. Guys, you know, this is where understanding, understanding, and overstanding of your own functioning, of your own being must happen. If you are in a state of understanding, you are under being able to be in full capacity of your being. Okay, you are actually pulled away and governing from an understance of your own being. Okay, so you got to look and see where you stand within your own being. Do you understand yourself and why you operate the way you do? Do you know? Are you knowledgeable about energy of your being? Are you knowledgeable about your feminine and masculine energy? Well, then that you see, from an understance where you don't know and you acquire knowledge and skills, that automatically you become able to have an understanding within your own being, how you operate, why you do the things that you do. Well, without that understanding and full knowledge of what drives you, what you're passionate about, what your purpose is in life, what you're driven by, come on, you'll never get to a stage of overstanding. Well, it is only from a state of overstanding will you see everything and all within it. Simple. Guys, I encourage you all to never stop your learning. Every so often, take a look at the belief systems that you have acquired, because every time we go back to search for a deeper meaning and we find it, well, the correction of the belief systems must happen too. If not, you're still governing out of old belief systems unless you consciously, intentionally rewrite what is stamped into your being. It's as simple as that. Guys, I encourage you all today to do it. Why? Because you're all worth it, and we all matter, and we're all uniquely us, and we're all uniquely here to assist with the shift in humanity and correct what's been going on for years that hasn't made anybody feel good. And that's what it comes down to. Because when we all go down to the basis of what's in our heart, well, we all know right from wrong. No matter who they are. As long as there's a soul that's vibrating uniquely at that frequency, hey. But we all are uniquely one. We are. Energetically. And that's why what you say and do to another, you're doing to yourself. You just are. That's why you got to be kind, caring, loving, compassionate to yourself first and to others, no matter what. Really, that doesn't come down to money being more important than being genuinely, authentically a loving person. Because when you, most of the time, out of my experience, governing like that doesn't get me paid within this world. But that's okay. Because that gives me extra life. Having to be, who I am and live what I've lived, well, unless I operate out of the sole governance of my being, I will not be here to watch the greatest shift of humanity. And you know what? I'm watching it happen now. And I love it. And I love all of you. Why? Because I love myself. So there's no emotion in that. That's the force of life. And you know what? Have no fear. There's no fear inside of this infinite unconditional love. It's peace, it's trust, it's wholeness, it's creativity, it's expansion, evolution, growth, learning. There's no negativity in that. No. Guys, I love y'all. And this has been a great experience. This is the first time I've come out and done lives on more than one platform. So, I'm really happy that you guys all joined me. Really, really happy. I'm grateful for you all. You know, if you're interested in following me live every day on Facebook, well, I do lives on Facebook. I just actually read my books live, a couple of them, the first two, and then my parenting book. Yeah. Anybody who's really interested, go Google my books. Books by Toby Staples with an I. You'll see what I've done for humanity already. Yeah. Why? Because it's needed. And I had to free my generations coming after me of what needed to be done. So I did it. So I'm proud to be out here coming to you guys with life experience. Okay? You got to live it to learn it. So don't shy away from anything you got to live or do. Don't. Follow your heart through it all. Know what's right and wrong for your own being. Big time. Guys, I love you all, and I send you all the energy of that. There's no emotion in that. That's from the heart space. That's not from the brain. The kind of love that you got to think about is not the real love. The real love is what's giving you life. So get right with that too today. Guys, I love you all, and I'm so appreciative of you all coming out. TikTok, you're all amazing. I'm really happy for you guys all to come and join my live. Really, really, I'm really happy for you guys enjoying my live. Guys, I encourage you all to reach out to me on Facebook if you want to get full depth of all of the videos that I do put out there every day. Okay? Facebook friends, I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.